oh my God, this guy was so attractive. He like grabbed he like stopped me. He like put his hand on my shoulder and he goes, Kelly, I'm a big fan. And this is what I do. I go, oh. And then he goes, oh, okay. And I go, wait, but you're attractive.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey everyone, it is Wednesday, October 12th, and I thought it might be fun to do a little post BQ or bust Q&A because, I mean, you guys have been with me for 6 months now, going through the entire process of trying to take my marathon time from a 3:59:37 to I ended up running it in 3:41:11 or something. So I put out the request on Facebook. Holy smokes, you guys, what just happened? I literally don't know what just happened, but when I uploaded the footage from this camera to my computer, only half of it went. I am at the Runner's World half weekend in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, trying to edit today's vlog, and the footage is all gone. So we're gonna redo it. Facebook Q&A, ready, set, go. Did you have to poop at any point during the race? Yes, my Jills were not sitting with me, and I thought I was gonna get sick a couple of times. What are your top 3 meals food that you ate during training, pre-race, and post-race? I'm trying to get some ideas. I'm really boring. I eat a lot of tacos. I eat a lot of chicken, a lot of vegetables, a lot of like bagels and whole grains, sweet potatoes. I'm really boring. What tips do you have for runners going from a 10-minute mile to a 9-minute mile or faster? Start with speed and start slow. So throw in little fartlicks. So like when you're out for a training run on like a Tuesday or a Thursday, like make that your speed day. And then like try to run for like 15 seconds fast and then 30 seconds slow. Or like 2 minutes fast and 4 minutes slow, things like that. Like start in little tiny manageable chunks and try to push your pace a little bit and then recover and then push your pace again. Like maybe go for a mile run, throw in a 5K with some intervals in it, and then cool down for a mile. Thank you. I don't want to be negative question, but you occasionally stop during your long runs for water, Gatorade, nutrition, dance parties, and I was curious about it. I mean, in the sense of, doesn't matter that you got the miles in, not that you ran consistently. I always assume the stops are brief, but you're still breaking up the rhythm of the run to go into CBS or whatever. Not a negative question at all. Josh likes me to keep my stops to a minimum, but if it's summer, which is when I did most of my training, like I have to stop for water, I have to stop for nutrition and stuff. Like I can't carry, if I'm going for like a 15, 18, 20 mile run, like I can't carry that much stuff with me. I don't like handheld water bottles. Like I'll carry them with me, but I don't like to do it. I feel bad and I'll spend the entire race like annoyed. So it makes more sense for me to take 2 minutes to grab a Gatorade or whatever. I try not to stop. For me, like stopping, if for whatever reason, like makes the run more bearable. So if it means I'm not going to dread running, like I'm going to do it. So it's not perfect, but it is what it is. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Do you feel your blogs or vlogs help to keep you accountable? Yes. To seeing your training through after you made the commitment to BQ or bust. Absolutely, 100%. Like I don't think if I would have had this, I wouldn't have made it more than 2 months for BQ or bust training. I would have totally given up and just been over it. It was so hard. Like without this, like I don't think I would have stuck with it. What suggestions do you have for staying the course for a long-term race goal once the initial excitement wanes? Accountability buddies. So find someone to do a goal with you or who knows you're training for something and who will like totally and completely do it with you and support you and be with you. And then also like focus on teeny tiny weekly goals that you can accomplish so that you like every day you have something that you're working towards and like you constantly feel like you're doing something so that you're not just running. Does that make sense? During your training with Josh, did you ever focus on running form or technique? Yes, every time Josh was with me. And you saw me, I did drills almost every time I ran. Like that was for a reason. You talk a lot about the mental game, wondering what technical running perspective you needed to focus on for any tips you can share. I am a completely different runner technically today than I am when I first started running, and like my form is still not great. I still have a long way to go, but changing your gait and your form takes a lot of time, and it's really, 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 really important. Like if you're getting hurt, it's because you're running. It has to do with your running form, 100%. What is your nutrition like leading up to the days of the race? We talked about this. My time, what time is needed for you to get into BQ? My time for my age group is 3:35, but to get into the race is like 3:32. How do you keep motivated during a really hard training run to not make yourself excuses and quit early or go slower when you're supposed to? Honestly, it's just a matter of being comfortable being uncomfortable and learning that you have more strength in like endurance in your tank when you want to get comfortable and you're uncomfortable. It's just a matter of like conditioning this for in those moments when you think like I can't do this, pull back, to say like no, keep pushing, like this is worth it. I still struggle with it. Like I'm still learning. Like you saw me in the Chicago Marathon. Like I was learning. That was the biggest lesson, was even when I thought I was going to death march to the finish line, like pushing the pace and like busting out that 7:45 minute mile was like a huge like confidence booster to myself, showing myself that I'm a lot stronger than I think. And like my predefined limits are nowhere near as strong and capable as I am. So it's just a matter of learning how to get comfortable being uncomfortable, like, and embracing pain. It's so hard. Like I didn't do athletics in high school or college. Like I was never athletic. I didn't play sports. This is all very new to me still, so I'm still figuring it out. You just have to want it. How bad do you want it? Keep asking yourself that. How bad do you want it? No excuses, no regrets. How are you feeling today? Also, what type of pouch or band do you use to hold your phone or camera? I think this question obviously has to do on Wednesday, but I was really only sore on like Monday and Tuesday, oddly, and like by Wednesday I was feeling great again. I hop in those Normatec sleeves, so those had a big part of it, and my PT at Finish Line Physical Therapy was a big help. But I think I'm in great shape, so I wasn't as sore as I thought I was going to be. And I use a spy belt. Congratulations, thank you. I've been so impressed and inspired by your courage to set big goals and to chase them down in such a public way. Oh, thank you, Jeanette. Second, why put away the phone for race day? I must admit I was more invested than I should have been in this, worrying you wouldn't have the race of your dreams because you were lugging around a GoPro and shooting. I only had the GoPro out for the first like 6 miles, which I like holding a GoPro. I like being on my phone. Like, and I only posted one selfie. Like, that to me is fun, and I can run at that pace. Like, I was doing like 8:45s in the beginning, so like I can do that pace and no problem be on my phone, on my GoPro. Like, mentally I'm still like completely and totally sound in the race. It's when it gets harder that I don't pull it out. Like, I put this away after mile 4. So that's the reason why there was no GoPro footage after 4. Like, and then I didn't have my phone. I didn't even like, so it's not a big distraction for me personally. Not a big deal. How did you navigate the race at the beginning? My biggest problem is having to zigzag around people at the beginning, which makes my hip. You're in the wrong corral if you're zigzagging around people. You should be running at the exact same pace as the people around you. I started at the very, very, very end of the first wave because my corral closed, and I just had to start there. So I didn't even do any zigzagging or weaving. But I mean, I know it's annoying. I think being patient in the beginning, like even if you feel like you need to zigzag and weave, like don't do it. Just patiently jog until it gets out, and then start increasing your pace, like throw in little 30-second, 1-minute pushes, and you'll be okay. I think zigzagging throws me mentally for a loop, and I get really annoyed and frustrated. 2 questions. 1, when life happens and you either miss a run or workout, how do you squeeze it in to make it up? Josh worked in like little like buffer periods that he like anticipated things to blow up and my life to just totally derail. So like we took down weeks here and there. Like when I moved, I took a down week. I think I took a down week when I went to California, but I think that was scheduled. I think sometimes there's nothing you can do. It's unavoidable. Other times, like there are times when I don't want to run, but I know I have to go to the track to get my workout in because I want to be cute. So it's just a matter of how bad do you want it versus like what can you actually do today. And sometimes like I would do what I can. So if you can only get in a 30-minute run and you're supposed to run for an hour and a half, like do what you can, like figure out how to make it up. And sometimes it's just like better to lose it and just forget about it. Like there were a lot of times that Josh was like, just forget about it. Like it's behind you, don't worry about it. You're not gonna lose any fitness by not doing this. Go do some core work. 2, maybe another Q&A, but already getting ready for another marathon so soon. What is your strategy? How much running will you do between now? Josh wanted me to do 10 days of complete rest. I worked out this morning with November Project. It's Friday. So that'll probably be the extent for the whole 10 days. Do that, and then I think I'm doing a beer mile tonight, which Josh said was okay. But really it's a matter of like taking time off and like seriously recovering and giving your muscles the time they need. Getting in the Normatec compression sleeves, going to physical therapy, foam rolling, listening to my body, eating really smart, eating really healthy, like hydrating, not like just eating cupcakes and donuts as much as I want to. Like really, really, really like taking the 4 weeks between Chicago and New York City to like treat myself really well, get a lot of sleep, listen to my body. I have no idea what the 2 weeks going into New York are gonna look like. I'll keep you posted. What's your advice to someone who could probably push themselves a little harder but just lacks the self-confidence? That's personal. Like, you saw me struggle with it, and I'm still struggling with it a lot. Like, I doubt myself all the time, and I don't think, like, I'm still dealing with all, like, my self-imposed defined limits. It's just one of those things that you just have to, this is like a Dr. Bob and Coach Josh advice. You just have to say, I don't know if I can do this, but I'm going to go out and try. And then just like find people who can run with you, who you know can do those paces, and have them push you. Like, try to have them push you, or like really promise yourself you're going to go for it. And try to surprise yourself, even for a little bit. Like, all you have to do is go a tiny bit further and faster than you went yesterday. Just a tiny bit. What kind of cross training did you do while marathon training, if any? And is there any type you'd recommend over another? Also, oh, thank you. Brienne, that's so nice. I did bar in the beginning, a lot of bar and Pilates, which I'd never done before, and I'm so bad at it, and it's so embarrassing. But that was really helpful. I stopped doing that because I didn't stop going to Equinox, but I did a ton of spinning. I love spinning. I wish I would have done more strength training too. Just find what works for you, like swimming, spinning, Pilates, bar, yoga. There's so many cross training. Barry's Boot Camp, people love Barry's Boot Camp. I've never been. It was eye-opening to hear you say that you don't care about your time. It's not that I don't care about my time, it's just that I know that I did my best. Like, not BQing and running 100% was a really huge win, and that was the goal. Did I want to BQ? Yes. But, like, in order for me to BQ, I had to go through the race in Chicago. You know, I have to learn these things, and like, I can't learn these things on an 18-mile training run. These are things that you have to learn on race day when the stakes are really high. So I have no regrets. It was great. I've got another long run question. I noticed you usually started later in the morning. 8 a.m. is late for me for a long run. What was the reasoning? I like to sleep. Fridays were my only rest day. So Fridays normally meant that I either one, got to sit on my computer and like edit my videos. I think a lot of people think like I don't do anything all day. Like, running this blog is a full-time job. I'm on calls all day. I'm doing strategy. I'm analyzing numbers. I'm writing content, developing stories, like writing, editing video, editing pictures. Like, this isn't like a hobby that I can bang out in 10 minutes. Like, I work 12, 15-hour days on top of training. So, like, if Friday I can get 3 hours with a friend and like go to dinner with Greg, or like go to dinner with my sister, or like see people, like I would do that, and then I would normally get home at 11, which means that I want to get 8 hours of sleep, because I'm the type of person that can't run on 6 hours of sleep. Like, I have to get a lot of sleep, otherwise I fully fall apart. Like, you saw me have a couple like total meltdowns when I wasn't sleeping. I have to sleep, so if that means starting a run late, like, so be it. Thank you. Thank you. Are you gonna continue vlogging? Yes. I hope so. Blah, 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 blah. Also, is it possible with 6 months training to shave 30 minutes off your marathon PR? That's what you tried, round 1, and soon you'll achieve it, I'm sure, but 6 months of training, is it enough? Yes. 6 months was more than enough. Like, I was actually ready to BQ. I think had mentally I pushed myself a tiny bit further to like run faster on certain runs, it would have happened. Like, Josh trained me to BQ, but Josh can only get me there. Like, he can only like lead. It's like the whole lead the horse to the water thing. Like, Josh can't run the race for me. Josh knows how to BQ, but I don't. So it was a matter of me like learning this stuff along the way. Like, I think 6 months is more than enough, but it's a super personal thing. Like, I didn't do it, but I had a huge PR and I learned a lot, and like, I get another try. Josh totally completely prepared me for 6 months, in 6 months to BQ though. Like, I was ready, 100%. I agree, I do have an amazing coach. Josh is wonderful. How did I find Josh as my coach? All my friends trained with him. A lot of them were members of Gotham City Runners, and I saw them run with him, and how they all really liked him, and I liked how he treated his athletes and how he trained them. I kind of knew going into it that Josh was going to be my coach because we get along so well, and I think he's funny, and I also can yell at him, and I still respect him. So I think you just need a balance. Oh, thank you. What do you take with you on your person during your races? I keep energy gels in my spy belt, a GoPro in my pocket, and my phone in my other. What do you use for fuel during races? I used energy gels. So I had an energy gel before the race, at like 15 minutes before. I had an energy gel at 7, 13, 18? Question mark? 16, 17, or 18? I think it was 18. And then I didn't take the last one because my stomach was horrific. And I was going to poop my pants if I took it. I was guzzling water and Gatorade at every water stop once we hit like mile 8. I think I don't walk when I go through water stops. I grab and I make them the taco and then I put it here. I'll show you how I do it. So what I do is when I'm going through a water stop, I normally will surge for 30 seconds going into the water stop to make up for the time that I'm about to lose when I slow down. So I'll run and get really out, like not out of breath, but you know, I'll pick it up. I'll push the pace. And then I'll lock eye contact with someone who has, you know, the water. They're either holding it like this or like this. I'll lock eyes and then I'll put my hand out and I'll either point to them and I'll normally grab it like this. Like I'll try to grab it like that. And then I do that. I make it a taco. And I do that. I never really get more than a mouthful unless I'm really dying. Like there was a point in the race when I literally took 2 cups of Gatorade into water. Like I was dying. So that's what I do. But I don't walk. But that took a long time. Like I walked for 2 years. When I went through water stops, it wasn't a big deal. Now I run. Do you think you could have done your training with a 9 to 5 job? Yes, I think I have a 9 to 5 job. I have a 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock job. Again, people think blogging is so easy. I don't understand it. Oh, I mean, I do have a flexible schedule in that like I could do stuff in the middle of the day, but that means that I have to make up that time at night. So like if I have a friend in town and they're like, hey, let's go get lunch, I'll say yes. And then from 12 to 2 I go to lunch, but that means from like 6 to 9 I'm working, you know, or from 10 to 12 I'm working. So it's not like I have X amount of things I need to get done in the day. It's not like I don't do anything. I don't sit on my ass. I don't know why people think I sit on my ass, but like I can't even tell you the last time I watched television or gone on a date. I don't have any time. These videos take like 4 to 8 hours to edit, you guys. On top of blogging. Truth time. Did you have a marathon that just went horribly wrong? Oh, I hate to hear this. Okay, I'm so sorry you had a bad marathon. I have not had a bad marathon. My first marathon was incredibly hard and like really painful and felt impossible because I was so underprepared, but I wouldn't say it went horribly wrong. I would just say it's really painful. I think the best way to get over a really horrible marathon is to take a break. Do half marathons or to sign up for a marathon, really train for it, take it really seriously, and then surround yourself with like the most fun people who you can run a marathon with. Join a charity team, join a running club, do November Project, figure it out. Did you ever have a moment during your training that everything just clicked? Yes, and it was 2 weeks before Chicago, during the Bronx 10 miler and that 20 miler the day before. And you felt like you can control every training mental game. I also like that we had baby steps. Like we had teeny tiny little like steps forward. Like granted, like they were often followed by like 4 steps back, but like there were like moments that like clicked throughout it, and it like moments of hope, I guess you could say. Like figuring out, making the choice not to suffer, going out during like the really hard runs was a huge step forward for me. Believing in myself here and there. The moments that stick out are like that 10K in Central Park that we did. Was it like the Oakley Women's 10K, something like that? What else? That day that we were at the track and I was dropping 6:55 minute miles repeats. That was a big day. I think it's just a matter of like really being hyper aware of like your victories and stuff. What was the most romantical guy moment you had on the course? Oh my God. Can I tell you about what happened at the expo? So we're at the expo, me, my Aunt Kathleen, my cousin William, and then my friend Katie. And we're walking out and hundreds and thousands of people are walking in. Oh my God, this guy was so attractive. He like grabbed he like stopped me. He like put his hand on my shoulder and he goes, Kelly, I'm a big fan. And this is what I do. I go, oh. And then he goes, oh, okay. And I go, wait, but you're attractive. And then I just turned and walked because I was so mortified that I'd said that. And I turned to everyone and I'm like, what the hell, everyone? Like, where were you? So, not romantic, totally embarrassing and awful, but that happened. At what point in your training did you feel the most confident? I just answered that. At what point do you have the most doubts? Always. Oh, here's a good one. What do you feel was the most important lesson that you learned during the race? Okay. The most important lesson I'm going to end here. The most important lesson that I learned during the Chicago Marathon was that I am a lot stronger than I think. And that in those moments where my legs hurt and I don't think I can go any faster and I'm trying to like, in my brain be like, you still have a long way to go, like conserve your energy, just to throw in tiny, tiny, tiny little pickups so that I show myself that I have more. Like I'm stronger than I think and I can do it. So like throwing in little 30-second pushes when I don't think I can do it, or like picking a point and being like, I am going to get there. Damn it. And just doing that, and then not getting defeated when you look down at your watch and you're not hitting your paces. Like shake it off, throw in a push. That was my biggest thing. And then like really just like getting the mental game down. Like that takes a lot of practice. It's just something that comes with time. I'm so sorry, there's so many more questions, but this video is already so long. So you guys, we're gonna end there. We will do this again. I'm going to go shower because I'm so gross, but thanks for writing in. This isn't gonna end here. We still have New York. So, woohoo. All right, I'm gonna go shower.